Hello everybody. Welcome to my Requiem Auto Attack Berserker skill guide. I want to start off by saying that this class is in no means easy to level up or fun to level up. A lot later game, that's where this class shines. So I'd highly recommend you make an alternate character to get the items necessary for this one before you level it. But with that out of the way, now we'll go into some skills here and why it is so difficult. So all these skills here that are grayed out we're not taking because we primarily are just auto attacking. AA for short. So that's, as you can see, we are attacking just by default. That's what we call auto attacks. And that's what it is, essentially. That's where all your damage is coming from, rather than having to spam skills. So it's pretty efficient for mana. You never really need mana too much. A lot cheaper to build than I would say other classes as well. It's a fun class, fun in PvP. We can also pretty much infinitely stun lock a character, and we'll go over that. First, we're going to take Armor Breaker, and we're going to max this. This reduces defense, and it could in combination with the DNA. This is a total of 20% armor reduction, which is really good. It's a big number, especially on really high defenses. We'll just show that here now. And that's what it is. You can see that debuff over here underneath the target's health. It lasts 25 seconds, pretty long. Really good skill. Then we got Charge next, level 10. Very useful skill. All warriors are going to get this. So this is max range. You can see we're pretty far away, 35 meters. It's a 1 second stun. Really good for interrupting people, interrupting casting, and much more. Closing gap, etc. We got Terror here. We're going to max that as well. As you can see, this little emblem above their head, that means they're feared, and they'll just be running around. They can't cast anything or do anything. But when you hit them... Oh, it already ended before I hit it. But if you hit them while that red emblem's above, it will stop it. Really useful. Fighting more than one target in PvP. You can 2v1 people very easily with Berserker. Especially with Fear. Last skill here in the warrior tree before we get to level 50 is Iron Physique. Strength and health percent. Health is really important. Strength is really good too. If you don't want to go Iron Physique, if you want more damage, I highly recommend doing two-handed weapon mastery over courage. This goes up to 100 with 10 points, and this goes up to about like 50 damage. It's just not worth the points in courage to max it, at least. On the level 50 tree here, we got Skull Crasher. It's just a basic stun. Just like that. And then when you can see those little circles coming out of the top of their head, that means they're stunned. Next, really important skill, Reckless Attack. Let's see. It increases attack speed, and you can see really how much here. So this is without attack speed bonus. It's auto attacking. And then with attack speed bonus. Oh, we gotta wait here in a second for it to come off cooldown. But yeah, as you can see, it's pretty slow. Not good. And honestly, this skill, this isn't really good to start using until I would say like level 6, because you're not going to really see too much of a difference. And it also decreases your physical defense, and that's a really big deal. So putting this on your character while you're leveling is just not worth it, because you're taking so much defense away. So I probably just wouldn't even use it as a buff yet until it's level 6, and then you could start using it. But here it's already off cooldown, so we'll see. When we use it, you can see we're attacking a lot more often. A lot more, way less downtime in between swings. And that's where a lot of our damage is coming from, is the attack speed combination with the damage and critical strike. Next we got Burning Dash. It's another charge. This is a good stun. Not as long range as the first charge we went over, but it's still really good. It's a stun, and it's an AoE stun, so you can really mess people up in PvP with that. Interrupt a lot of targets when they're casting, because there's a lot of casters in PvP, and Berserkers really destroy them, and we have a lot of fun with that. Next skill would be Shackle. It's just a slow, a range slow. You throw that at them. Really good for chasing. Really good for just helping your team in battlefields. You can slow down a target, makes it easy target for casters and ranged people. And these are all maxed. Skullcrusher max, Reckless Attack max, Burning Dash max, Shackle keeping level 7. Because I don't think it's really necessary for it to be anymore. Because it's a pretty, at level 7, it's a pretty, like, it halves their movement speed pretty much. And any more than that, I just don't really feel like it's really necessary. It's a waste of points. Next, important skill, Wrath Awakening. It's a critical buff. It's going to be a 10% total when it's level 10. Next is Soul Berserker, really good damage buff. Yeah, that's about it with that one. Just good damage. We need that, especially being a Berserker. Rage, we're gonna max that. I mean, I don't think it's actually gonna be max because the last level cap's 90. So I think this might end up being like level 7 or 8. Something like that. But it's a percentage attack damage buff. So Berserkers are all about that damage. So 2 big old attack damage buff. This one just doesn't last as long, but it's still really strong. Highly recommend it. Berserker Savagery. This one's really important. It makes us immune to all CC effects. Really good for assassins. Can't really hit you or scud you when you have that on. Shred Armor we're not going to take because we can't DNA it and we can't max it. Counterattack, last time we played before the wipe, this didn't really work. Not worth the points. Yeah, when level 90 comes out, you will have some extra skill points when everything's maxed here. I did hyper mode. It's just like a little heal. It's something to heal yourself. You can do what you want with the extra points. You could even opt for maybe the two-handed weapon mastery a little bit, and it's up to you. So let's go over DNA. We're going to do Potence Dash, modify cooldown on our charge skill. Really important. So it goes to a 5-second cooldown. Or 7-second cooldown, I mean. Really good. Very useful. So you can charge a lot. Next is Armor Breaker Intensification. We do this because this ends up being a 20% damage reduction. Really useful. especially against targets with high short range armor. Next we got extended skull crasher. That's a very important one. Ends up being like a what was it? 4-second stun. Pretty good. Really important. Without it, it's only like a 1 second. It's not very long. Not very long at all. We're gonna do Strengthen Wrath Awakening. That is the critical buff skill. It'll be a total of 20%. Really good. We're also doing Strengthen Soul Berserker. They're both gonna be maxed. And these stop at 5, by the way, Potent Stash and Extended, so you don't have to worry about that. Level 5 is max for those. But these we're all gonna be level 10. Armor Breaker, Strength of Wrath Awakening, Soul Berserker. I believe we'll have 5 points left over after that. You can either go Long Range Shackle or Long Range Terror. I would argue the Long Range Shackle is what I prefer over the Long Range Terror, just because you're putting yourself in danger to slow somebody right here, whereas you could be much farther and get away with slowing targets and not putting yourself in danger. And when you fear somebody on the battlefield, they're most likely going to just be hit immediately right after. So I feel like Range Terror would be a lot better in a duel situation, like a one-on-one, which is what Berserkers can also do very well. But that's it for the DNA on this class. This is what I used at level 25 for up until 40. I didn't even have a full set, but it's just plus 20. I have a plus 20 greatsword. And that was enough to get me to Ancient Temple. Again, now if you want to do this the free-to-play way, you're just going to have a tough time. Again, how we went over the skills and how we're not really taking any attack spells other than a defense reduction, a stun, charge, a fear, and just a passive buff. Because all 3 of these are attack spells, and you don't take those if you want to be a good auto attack berserker. But anyways, as far as the gear goes, level 25 body hook's fine. Just get level plus 20. Put some short range defense Zeons in there. Make yourself a little tanky. Go to Ancient Temple, kill all the things in there till you hit 40, and we're gonna switch to Gordium. I just had plus 10 on this. You don't have to plus 30 any of this at all, just enough. And then that Gordium honestly will last you up till 60 if you have it plussed up, all of it plussed up to 10 and enhanced. That will last you quite a long time. And then at level 60, you can switch to the Tranium Ion if you get your hands on it. It's probably pretty cheap right now. Pretty good replacement for Gordium Ion. At 65, if you really want to, excuse me, you can do Fierce Storm. At the time, this was the cap. Level cap was 69, and we only had access to Fierce Storm. Only the helmet and gloves, but you could get Ruinhorn, and that's also what I did. I did a half Fierce Storm, half Ruinhorn. It was a pretty strong build for the time, but now since the cap is raised and we're 75, we have a brand new set to replace all of this. Weapon choice, early levels like 20s, 40s, it's not too big of a difference, but I would say start getting up into the 60s, you might want to get an axe for the critical rate. And I have a Runehorn's Twisted Axe here. And enchantments for this would definitely be the short range double down, the best you can get. Mine's level 4, level 5's the best, as high as it goes. But axes are really good on Berserker because of the crit rate that you get from it. And it does have just a higher base damage than a giant sword. I would probably opt for bludgeon or sword if we were skill spam. Bludgeon, just because it has some mana on it and it has higher base damage. But being an auto attack Berserker, we're gonna stick with axe again. Critical rate is what we're after. We really want critical chance. That's what we're all about, and critical additional damage, which building strength gives you critical additional damage as well. Okay, so we went over gear, the weapon, accessories. This is going to be Nightmare. These are really easy to pick up. If you want to be a little bit more defensive, you can go Con instead of Strength. I just like the damage on Strength. But I will tell you, you're extremely squishy if you don't have Con, which I hindsight now, I should have went Con. The strength is nice, don't get me wrong, but I think being a warrior, Con is better. Assassins can get away with doing strength, but that's because they have stealth and they don't really get hit that often anyways, because they're always just hiding. And being a warrior, we don't hide. We're just there. We're standing out in the open. So I highly recommend doing a con set on these, even though strength has served me pretty well. That's a lot of damage that I've gotten from just building all this strength. But I think con is the better choice, defensive, especially PvP. Ornament, we're going to do the Robber Spectre Cell, which is 67. We're going to get a better version of this maybe later. I don't know, I might just wait for this for the CAD ball, which is critical additional damage, and it's just another ornament from Infernal Tower that will eventually be released in Albin, which we just got Albin recently. But yeah, this is pretty good. This has worked very well. This is a really good ornament. Very expensive to make, but if you can get your hands on that, definitely need it. Make a physical critical additional damage. That's what you want. Super good. Enhanced it with more critical additional damage as well. You can maybe opt for more crit chance if you'd like, but we opted for a little bit more damage. And as far as this accessory here, the injection, we're also taking a defensive route on this. The con, again, health is really helpful. MP is not really, is a little bit wasted, but the health alone and the short range defense is just good. It's very, very good. Very much needed for our class. This is I feel like this is more of like a more universal thing. You can change this up if you'd like. Do a more aggressive, maybe one with just strength and critical chance, which I think later game is what we're gonna do. Especially when I get the end game gear, which we're talking level 90. I think we're gonna stay defensive though for the health with this, but level 90 we could go maybe something more offensive and more damage. But as for now, the cap 75, this is good. And best in slot right now would be the Immortality. We have almost a full set here. But yep, this just has everything we need. It has the con, physical crit rate, and the critical additional damage. Giant axe of soul reposing, good choice. It's got the dexterity, which dexterity we lose out on long range damage bonus, which that's what dexterity gives. But it also gives accuracy and critical chance, so we definitely like that. So that's about it for gear. Again, the enchantment is going to be double down on any melee weapon. That's what we want. So that's gear. So I guess we will go into how we play this Berserker with all the skills and everything working together. This isn't truly a infinite stun lock combo. There is some window to some reaction. They either are going to have to dash to you to stun you, or some kind of dash away skill or something to get away from the range of your dash. Best option would be to close the gap on Berserkers. I know you want to not be near them, but that could just throw them off guard if they're trying to do this combo to you, because there are windows for you to dash into the Berserker so he can no longer do a charge, but you also put yourself at risk to getting hit with Skull Crusher or feared, possibly if they have it up. But yeah, as soon as you're in range of the Berserker is also in range of you, so you can use Skull Crusher if they do decide to dash into you, so you can punish that. There's just a lot of things that you can do in this combo, and a lot of things they can't. There's only a few limited options that some characters have. Druids or elementalists will be able to dash to you, so will assassins and commanders. Commanders are just going to be the worst matchup ever in general because of Adamant Mind. It's a really OP skill, in my opinion. But yeah, other than that, I mean, again, they're going to have to dash towards you, so puts them in range for Skull Crusher, which you'll have it up by that time during this combo. But here, we'll jump right into it here. We'll first go in with charge. As soon as we go in with that, hit him with Skull Crusher. Wait for the 4-second duration. As soon as that's up, hit him with fear. Then we're gonna wait out that 10 seconds for fear. As soon as that's up, we go in with another charge and hit with, just repeat the Skull Crusher again. But instead of hitting, since we just used terror, we're just gonna back up and charge. Or back up, use Burning Dash as well. Back up one more time, charge, Skull Crusher, fear. And that's the moment when they can dash to you, is when you're walking away to do your charge. It's a very small window, so I mean, they're gonna have to be pretty quick about it. But again, puts them in range for your Skull Crusher, for your other stun that you have. So it's all about backing up, getting the timing right. Back up again. See, they could dash to me right here, but again, they gotta be pretty quick about it. And I have Skull Crusher up, so they'd also be putting themselves at risk, getting stunned again themselves. But that's essentially how you do that combo. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully you learned something, maybe something new. Leave a like, leave a comment. Thanks again.